Welcome everyone to the first ever Pro Snack Time. And you know what? I'm getting a little bit of echo here, so I'm going to put myself on mute and make sure I troubleshoot this well. All right. Still getting an echo. Well, let's see. What if we... All right. I don't know how to deal with this echo, y'all. Well, you're watching me in real time troubleshoot, which is pretty exciting. If any of you are here. Let's see. Can you hear me now? Oh my gosh, this is annoying. Well, I wonder. Okay, let's see what happens. Could we? Settings, audio. Well, this is going great. Oh my gosh. Well, not really sure what to do to deal with the echo. Well, Can y'all hear me? Can everyone hear me? Well, we'll see. Seems like you might be able to, and I think I figured out the issue with the snack time echo, the mystery of the snack time echo. In any case, welcome to Pro Snack Time. I appreciate your patience with me as I work out the kinks for this first broadcast. We're going to drink some wine because guess what? I'm feeling a little stressed out. We'll see whether or not I actually end up keeping any of this footage, but we'll see. Okay, so Pro Snack Time, or the intention of Pro Snack Time, is to talk about my two favorite things. So first favorite thing, number one, professional development. Second favorite thing, number two, is snacks. And since I often forget to eat lunch, Pro Snack Time is also selfishly a way for me to remember to eat lunch. So today, for Pro Snack Time, we are making a rice cake. I've been really into rice cakes because I have to eat gluten-free, but I've really been into these like rice cake variations that are very tasty. And yeah, so as I am creating these rice cakes, you will get an opportunity to hear me talk about a topic in professional development. And I don't really know how to characterize this first topic except to say that, well, you know what? I'll just start jumping into making the snack and then you guys can hear me talk about the professional development subject. So to start, man, this is like, it's like a lot of attention that needs to be like diverted and changed, and it's a little difficult. Okay, so this is the humble rice cake. So here are the ingredients that we're using today. We're using some cucumber. We're using some hummus. We're going to use some red pepper and a little bit of dill, and also salt and pepper and maybe some olive oil. So as far as professional development, I was talking to someone this morning and I was talking about a mistaken belief that I've had historically about how people in the professional development world, or people who are trying to develop their career, often assume, myself included, that to get ahead in their career, they have to work really hard. And while that is true, we do need to work hard always. It's important to remember that part of working harder is also working smarter. And I used to think that one would have to legitimately suffer to prove that they're working hard. And I would say sometimes I used to kind of almost display my suffering to prove to others that I was working hard, or that maybe I was worthy of, taking rest or taking PTO. And that never went well. It never actually benefited me or anyone else. What I've been learning more and more over the past couple years is that it's really important when in professional development spaces, and in thinking about developing your career, to think about what lights you up, what excites you about XYZ. And I've found that when I have taken time to do things, projects, jobs, invest in spaces and new creative ideas that nourish me and make me feel more alive, the easier it is to accomplish double the amount of work in half the time. It's like a cheat code. The cheat code for your career is do things that light you up. Does that mean, I hate that saying, do things that you love and you'll never work a day in your life. I call bullcrap, or whatever. I call bullshit. And this is why I call bullshit, because even when you're doing something that you love, it's going to be hard sometimes. And it's going to feel like work sometimes. I used to be an artist and did sculpture, and I thought, if I'm doing something I love, it's not going to feel like work. Oh man, was I wrong? It was hard work. And even in being in jobs that I love, it's always been hard work. I'm kind of neglecting my snack here. Well, I hope you're getting something from what I'm saying, and I'll continue to make my snacks. So you'll notice here we have the rice cake. I've added some hummus to it. And really, honestly, the rice cake is just a delivery method for tasty flavors. Yeah. So, yes, I licked the knife. All right. We have our rice cake. We've talked a little bit about professional development. Now I'm going to start to top my rice cake with tasty things. So I'm going to start putting some of these cucumbers on here. And then, while I'm putting these cucumbers on here, I'm going to talk to you guys about how I started to discover the things that lit me up. So we all have an intuition. We all have a sense of what we're good at and what we're not good at. Whether we're conscious of that is less certain. But there are exercises that you can do to learn to be conscious of whether or not you are following an intuition or whether or not you're doing things that light you up. So the first thing that I usually do when I'm trying to figure out, am I following my intuition and doing things that light me up, is to get in touch with my body. So that means, stopping, slowing down, paying attention to my breathing, paying attention to what's happening in my body in the moment, the nostril, breathing in and out of my nostrils and what have you. And then once I'm in tune with my body, I start to think about people, places, environments, and experiences that were really positive for me, that really sort of lit me up or made me feel safe and made me feel good. And a lot of times, it might not come to you right away, but when you start to reflect on what is it that I've done in the past historically that has really lit me up or made me feel safe, you'll start to get some of this, you'll start to get data essentially from your body. And in the form of you'll feel warm, you'll feel open, you'll feel this sort of expansiveness in your heart, you'll feel, solid or grounded, you'll feel good. And so when you think about these experiences that you've done in the past where you felt good and you start to pull out themes, these themes can guide you to environments and workplaces where, the feelings in your body and the themes can guide you to workplaces where you would flourish. So for instance, the way that I would put this knowledge to work or put this knowledge to the test would be to when I'm in an interview, if I'm talking to people and maybe I'm feeling a little nervous, but let's say I'm feeling really expansive in my heart, that would be an indication that this person or this environment or this company culture is resonating with me, meaning it's aligning with my body, it's aligning with my nervous system, meaning it could be an environment where I would thrive. That's one way I put that intuition into practice. The second way I put that intuition into practice is when I'm thinking through, like I said, places and spaces where I've thrived, and I'm noticing what's happening in my body when I'm thinking through those places and spaces, there will start to be, like I said, themes or ideas that come up. So for me, one of the most important things for a place and a space that I thrive is if I'm allowed to be able, if I have the ability to use my creative problem solving. So I could, in an interview, ask, how do you encourage your employees to use creative problem solving to solve your customers' problems? And in asking that in an interview, I can start to gauge, is this an environment or a workplace or a professional developmental circle or space where I would thrive? And if they hesitate at the question or they don't answer it sufficiently, that tells me quite a bit of information about whether or not I would want to continue an interview process or whether or not I would thrive in an organization. I'm going to pause for a beverage because my throat's getting dry. So yeah, that's one way that I think through how I would thrive in spaces and places and environments. So you'll notice here I have 2 rice cakes. I have this first one. I'll show you on the kitchen cam. It's delicious. It's a rice cake with hummus, and it has a little bit of cucumber there. And we're going to continue on with the second rice cake. I am adding a little bit of red pepper, making it look pretty, because guess what? When food looks pretty, it tastes better. I mean, theoretically, it doesn't, but it does. All right, so here's that second rice cake. We have a little bit of red pepper. The next step that I do to creating this tasty snack for pro snack time is I want to add a little bit of dill. Fresh herbs is one of the keys people don't realize to elevating any dish. I know this sounds crazy, but one time I added fresh herbs to a box of, Kraft macaroni. I'm not a partner with them, so don't take this the wrong way. But one time I added it to a standard box of macaroni, and I was like, dang, I'm a gourmet. It felt so fancy. So if you, let's say, are a frozen pizza kind of person and you want to zhuzh up your life, or you're a box dinner kind of person and you want to zhuzh up that experience, fresh herbs. That's the way to go, fresh herbs. Okay, my other tip for fresh herbs is never. Well, you can, not never. You can absolutely cut fresh herbs with a knife, but I find it is so much easier to cut fresh herbs with kitchen shears. So I'm just gonna snip some of these fresh herbs onto here. I wish I had like an overhead cam. So yeah, I hope you all are getting something out of this talk on professional development and this tasty snack. I'm somebody who's a huge proponent of making healthy foods taste freaking delicious, because I think a lot of people, when I had to go gluten-free for health reasons, a lot of people told me that it was going to be really hard, and it was, but it wasn't as hard as I thought it was, because it was a situation where I was able to think creatively. And so I've come up with a lot of creative snacks for myself that feel tasty and delicious and taste really good. And I want to share those with you. So I don't know, who knows what will happen with this content experiment. Okay, so next up, we have our delicious snacks right here. This is hard to kind of coordinate how that looks. Okay, we have our tasty, delicious snacks. Ta-da! And we're going to add a little bit of salt and pepper and a little bit of olive oil. And as we are doing that and finishing up our our pro snack time, I'll finish with some reflections on how you can use my professional development tip of following your instincts. So let me grab the salt and pepper. I'll be right back. So, ways you can take action on using the tips that I gave you. So one, I would say start by learning how to tune into your body. And I know that sounds woo-woo-y, but your body, your nervous system, and your brain are giving you information all the time about the environments that you're in, because it has to. It has to do that because it's designed to help you survive. So while it sounds woo-woo-y, it actually is not woo-woo-y in any way, because that's what your body is designed to do. It's designed to survive and give you information about how to survive. So, like I said, that first step is learn to tune into your body. The second step is just notice. Notice how you feel in different environments. Notice how you feel at home. Notice how you feel when you're with your friends or with someone you consider safe, or notice how you feel when you don't feel safe or you're nervous. All of those things can help you start to gather information about the places, spaces, jobs, relationships, environments, company cultures where you would flourish and you would not flourish. All right, so here is my last secret touch, is just a little bit of olive oil to zhuzh up the flavor. So I added salt and pepper, and I got this olive oil from like a fancy olive oil place. It's actually, excuse me, it's actually I think it's a rosemary olive oil. It's really tasty. So I'm really excited to eat these. Oh yeah. All right. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed joining me today as I've talked about some professional development things. I need to get better at kind of switching back and forth and figuring out how I'm going to manage the cadence of talking about what I'm making with the snack and my professional development tip. But thank you for joining me for this inaugural Pro Snack Time. I'm not sure whether I'll continue this live stream content, but it's been fun experimenting. And if you're out there and you want to up your content game, I encourage you to find weird ways to experiment. It's very fun. So the last part of this is I'm going to take a bite of my snack and I'm going to tell you what it tastes like. Okay, so you'll see this right here. This is the one I just put, you can see it in the kitchen cam. Let's take a big bite and I'll tell you how it tastes. We get the crunchiness of the rice cake, which I love. Crunch is so important to me, textures and crunch. You get the crunchiness of the cucumber, that fresh, bright flavor. You get that pop of the dill herb, and that creaminess comes from the hummus. And then, just that little extra bit of fat from the olive oil makes it even creamier and kind of makes it more of a luxurious experience. It is delicious. Go make yourself a snack and think a little bit harder about your own professional development. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.